Hey everybody, it's Noah and welcome to the Tuesday Tidbit for Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. December 15th is an amazing day, and the reason it's an amazing day is because it's my birthday. I turned 40 today, which is great. Over the weekend, I was able to celebrate a little social distancing outdoor party with my immediate family, which was really nice. And my parents found something really cool that they brought me. They found a sign that I had created for my first business when I was 8 years old. If you can see that, it says Sugarloaf Coolers and 65 cents. So let me tell you about that business. I used to walk around the local marina and sell cans of pop and soda to boaters who were thirsty and looked hot. And when I was 8 years old, I recognized that there was no concession stand. I used to go to this place and go fishing at the lake, and I recognized there's no concession stand. These boaters look hot for whatever reason. I guess back in the 80s there were they didn't have coolers in their boats, but I filled up a little red wagon. I got a cooler, I filled it with ice. My mom took me to the store. We bought a couple cans of pop, and I walked around and I sold it to the boaters. And that business grew. I started to add chocolate bars and I started to add bags of chips. And the reason it's important is because it taught me one of the most important lessons in business. And this is a lesson that was reiterated by a copywriter by the name of Gary Halbert. And Gary said, everybody can have great products, they can have great services, but there's probably somebody out there that's also got great products and great services. And the single most important competitive advantage a business can have is access to a starving crowd. And so I recognized this early on. There was literally a starving crowd there that I could serve and I could provide value to. And that lesson has remained the same for many years, that if you have access to people that need what you have to offer, then you can deliver that to them regularly, and you've got the ultimate competitive advantage. The other lesson I learned was the power of consistency, which you hear me talk about every week, that you need to show up regularly and you need to show up often. These days, the access to the starving crowd lesson has changed. The model has changed. And in fact, we covered this in one of my episodes of The Evergreen Show with my co-author, Sean Beltman. And we talked about how Gary was wrong. And that's changed these days. And now the single most important advantage you have is the ability to change, the ability to adapt, the ability to pivot. This has become so important in 2020. We recorded this podcast long before the pandemic, but we believed that would be the driving force or the key strategic imperative that businesses that wanted to succeed and wanted to thrive would need to adapt and they'd need to adopt to. And so to see the pandemic and how that changed people is just remarkable. But if you can take those lessons to heart, if you can use them, you can thrive and you can succeed. Going into a post-pandemic world, this is going to be more important than ever. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.